Hi, I'm Priya Lobo, and I'm back with my Thoughtful Thursdays. Today, what I'm going to talk about is compassion and kindness, but not just compassion and kindness, but self-compassion. And this is born out of all my reading, and there is a growing field of positive psychology that I've been following for the last 2 years. And I was wondering why that has become really so important, and why is it that people are focusing on positive psychology. So it is not, positive psychology is not this loosey-floosey happiness, be yourself, that kind of thing. One needs to understand it a lot more deeply. And Kristen Neff is the leading practitioner in self-compassion. And she talks about 3 ingredients of self-compassion. The first one is self-kindness, which is warmth and understanding towards yourself. And why warmth and understanding towards yourself? Because the opposite of that is judgment. So I just want you to remember this: kindness, self-kindness, and self-judgment. And the second point that she talks about is common humanity. One needs to understand that all human beings make mistakes, experience pain, and not feel isolated. That's the second point. Common humanity, all make mistakes, and not to feel isolated. And the third point is mindfulness, being aware of our emotions and what's going on within us, and finding a balanced way without being consumed. But for me, the first 2 points are very, very important. And if I had to even leave out the word self from the self-kindness and self-judgment, kindness and judgment, and the other one is humanity and isolation. And why am I talking about this? Because I think self-compassion, self-kindness is something that society needs to think about. And in my work, it's about the brands and marketers and how we are thinking about this aspect of self-compassion and kindness. And the reason for talking about this is something that I discovered. There were 2 points that I want to make, and this has come to my attention in the last studies that I've done in the last 6 months. In fact, last year we did a big study, Ormax and Moms Presso, on moms and kids and what's really going on. And this huge thought of being a superhuman. Parents want their kids not to be average, but be these fabulous human beings. And they're setting the stage for something that's really, really impossible, which I think is perfectionism. And I read an interesting article again that parents not only evaluate themselves very harshly and judge themselves, but they also judge other parents very harshly. And that is why I asked you to remember this word. There is self-kindness and the word kindness, and the other one is judgment. And the second point that I want to talk about is there is this entire thing that I see with millennials and Gen Z is that I should have control. I should be in charge of my life. I should excel in everything. I can't stop. I need to continue. And almost by these words, it tells me again that is a very superhuman expectation. It is about not falling behind. And the reason why self-compassion and kindness has become a very, very important topic, and positive psychology as a field has grown, is because it is a distorted perception of reality. And this distorted perception of reality, some of it is being addressed by brands when you look at body positive image perceptions. They talk about self-love. But for me, I think self-compassion has a deeper role to play. And there's one aspect that through my reading, I realized that it talks about the growth mindset. And I'm sure all of us in this business use this word quite a lot. What does growth mindset mean? Growth mindset actually is born out of self-compassion, where you come to terms with your failure. Remember common humanity, everybody makes mistakes, everybody experiences the same pain. You accept that and you prepare yourself for other things. And I think inbuilt in that is your adaptability and the risk that you take because you're prepared for failures. Now that was a new one for me. And I think as we go ahead, both at a societal level, at an individual level, and as brand and marketers, we need to look at self-compassion, kindness, and the new possibilities of actually looking at your consumers as human beings who need warmth, understanding, empathy, and kindness, and not set up the stage for some superhuman expectations and aspirations that creates enormous pressure. If you like what I say and you want to know more, reach out to me.